Hello, hope you're doing fine. So, this is going to be the last discussion in the Be As You Are series. Mm, Today's discussion is going to be one of the most important discussions. Uh, and it's not because we are discussing something different, but because your mind has gained some understanding already through these discussions. Your mind is now prepared. Mm, Mind is now prepared to attain more knowledge, mm, deeper knowledge. Uh, it's not difficult. Brahma Jnana is actually very easy. Mm, But if you are learning it from someone who doesn't have Pratyaksh Pramanam, what will happen is you'll get confused. But the one who has experienced huh, the final truth will be able to transfer wisdom to you effortlessly. Um, so now let us start. So we are reading from the page number 34. And what is the difference between the Badha, bandha hua, and the Mukta, the bound man and the one liberated? So the answer is the ordinary man lives in the brain, unaware of himself. Listen to it carefully. The ordinary man lives in the brain, unaware of himself in the heart. He only lives in the brain. He is unaware of himself in the heart. The Jnana Siddha, Jnani, lives in the heart. And how do you live in the heart? Attention is fixed on the heart. You are living in the heart. In the beginning stages, you don't even know what's going on in the mind. Mind is there. It's not completely destroyed, but you don't know what's going on. There is mind and you can feel the pressure. I feel the pressure of the mind. See, after a while, your body becomes very relaxed. Mind loses a lot of momentum. I mean, there are not many thoughts, but there will be just one thought or two thoughts ringing in the mind with intensity. So the pressure is the same. So the pressure of the mind can be now felt. So I do not get lost in the pressure or in the stream of the thought, but I feel the pressure. Look at this mind. making ruckus. Huh? Mind wants me to explore it. Hmm. So, the Jnana Siddha lives in the heart. When he moves about and deals with men and things, he knows that what he sees is not separate from the one supreme reality, the Brahman, which he realized in the heart as his own self, the real. Hmm. So, this last bit hasn't really occurred for me yet, or maybe this is how I am perceiving everything. Huh? Within few years, it will be all clear to me. Let's see. So, he knows that what he sees is not separate from the one supreme reality. Hmm. Whatever you see is Brahman. You may see objects, you may see physical structure, the wall, the ceiling, the furniture, the ground, but in reality, it's all Brahman. So now, this understanding, if Maharshi had not experienced it, he wouldn't be able to talk about it with conviction. Huh? And hence, the message would get diluted or diluted. Hmm. That's what's happening in spiritual communities. Huh? Their message is getting diluted. Hmm. So now we are understanding. Now we are understanding the mechanics of self-realization in very simple terms. Huh? So pay attention. The question is, what about the ordinary man? Hmm? How does a how does an ordinary man live in the world? Hmm? Bhagavan is saying, I have just said that he sees things outside of himself. He is separate from the world, from his own deeper truth. Hmm. From the truth that sprouts, from the truth that supports him and what he sees. The man who has realized the supreme truth of his own existence realizes that it is the one supreme reality that is there behind him, behind the world. In fact, he is aware of the one as the real, the self in all the selves, the self in all the selves. हम सब आत्माएं नहीं हैं, हम सब आत्मा हैं, हम एक हैं. Maharshi is saying the same thing. He is aware of the one as the real, the self in all selves. Huh. In all things eternal. Hmm. In all that is impermanent and mutable. Hmm. What is the relation between the pure consciousness realized by the jnani and the I amness. हम्म, मैं हूँ, मेरे होने का विचार. हाँ. And the I amness, which is accepted as the primary datum of experience. Hmm. The undifferentiated consciousness of pure being is the heart or hridayam, which is what you really are. You are the heart, you are the hridayam. Hmm. From the heart arises the I amness. Hmm. What is I amness? I amness is the I amness is the sense of individuality, the idea of doership, and it is arising from the heart. It is arising from the heart, but the heart remains hidden, and all you can see is your I amness. So, in all human beings, you have the Hridayam, the spiritual heart, which you really are. But in order to experience the spiritual heart, sadhana is required. Sadhana, which is your efforts in so many lifetimes. And then the heart shows itself to you. Hello, here I am. You've been waiting for me. You've been praying for me. Imagine that Guru loves you so much that he, as an act of grace, he brought your heart out of the heart cave for you to see. What you need to do is, you need to find the source. All these terms are the same. Source, heart, self. What is Sphurana? Sphurana allows you to locate the source. So while you are into meditation, when there is palpitation or throbbing in the right side of the chest, what will happen is your attention will move towards that sensation. Whatever sensation is occurring in the body, your mind will automatically move towards it. Similarly with Sphurana, when Sphurana occurs, what happens is your mind starts to observe Sphurana, and the spot, the very spot where Sphurana is occurring, that is the source. This is why Sphurana has been said to be the state before realization. Right before realization, Sphurana occurs. So, I don't experience Sphurana now. I only experience the heart, which is there without any movement. When I go to sleep, I keep on checking whether the heart is there or not, even till now. And when I wake up, that's the first thought. Are you here or not? Have you left? I know the heart will not go. But until unless you completely see yourself as the heart, mm, because currently I identify myself a little bit with the mind too. Mm, I know by this time I should have completely surrendered to the heart. But the mind is too stubborn, Even though my mind has lost all its power, that's not what I want you to understand. Mm. Losing power means lost its individuality. Huh? So mind is now working only as a receiver. Huh? So I receive and I I just respond to the energy, huh? Automatically, because the mind most of the times doesn't have thoughts. Huh? So I am thinking of something. Hmm? Involuntary, involuntarily, thoughts are coming. Hmm? But I am seated here. Uh, when I'm here and I look towards the mind, I think, what the heck? You are still involved in thinking? Can you not stay quiet? Can you not take a little rest? Then I go back to the heart and I rest in the heart. Uh, the moment I come out of the heart, I can again feel the pressure. It troubles me a lot. It's like a aversive stimuli, hmm? As if someone is pinching you with a needle. But and there are days where I cannot at all be seated in the heart because somehow mind has gotten agitated. Um, yeah, but after a while, like after 4 hours, 5 hours of suffering the pressure of the mind. See, you also suffer the same pressure of the mind, but because you have not experienced deep relaxation, you have not experienced bliss, peace. Hmm? So that pressure of the mind, it troubles you. Obviously, it troubles you, but it does not break your heart. Hmm? It breaks my heart because I have experienced the peace, and the moment it gets taken away, even for a little while, I actually throw tantrums. Hmm. I really cry. I fight with Bhagwan. I fight with Lord Shiva. I fight with Arunachala. In any form you are available on in this existence, I will fight with each and every form of yours until unless you give me peace. You see my tactics. Hmm. Smooth operator. Yeah. So the undifferentiated consciousness of pure being is the heart or hridaya, hmm, which is what you really are. From the heart arises the I amness as the primary datum of one's experience. By itself, it is completely pure, Shuddha Sattva, in character. It is completely pure in character. It is in the form of pristine purity. Hmm. Shuddha Sattva Sarupa, uncontaminated by Rajas and Tamas. Hmm. Activity and inertia. That the I appears to subsist in the Jnani. So, hmm, the Jnani does not have rhythms of Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva that you have. Huh. We discussed about the movement of the moon. Moon governs our emotions as per astrology. Huh. And it has some science to it as well. Hmm. Hmm. So, moon's movement induces the states of Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva. So, in life, it will always happen that for 2 days or 3 days you are tamasic in nature. Uh, then, then you have Rajas. You want to do actions. You want to get everything. You want to get it done. Finish all the tasks and take some rest. Uh, then you enter the state of Sattva, not Shuddha Sattva, Sattva. Mm. So it keeps on repeating itself, the cycle, and you are never able to decode what's happening because I'm so sorry for all the noises. Huh? Hmm. So it's a cycle. Hmm? When the emotion arises, what happens is the logical part of the brain shuts down. Ah. So now you are only feeling it, you cannot decode it. Hmm. That's why in life we are not even able to see the pattern because the moment emotion arrives, mind gets shut down. Now you are only feeling it. When it goes away, hmm, when the emotion has been removed because now you are in sattva or you are in rajas, hmm, emotion has been removed. Now what? Now you can think, why was I even sad for the past 3 days? It's not such a big deal. It's fine. It's okay. I won't get mad over it next time. I'll make sure that this particular thing doesn't affect me. I don't care at all. Huh? But then the same thing happens and it affects you not because you are weak, only because you have not decoded the pattern. Um, so once you understand that your emotions, your actions, and the state where you are coming closer to the universe, mm, that is sattva. Huh? Coming closer to the universe or God, or few days where you are praying a lot or you are meditative a lot, in comparison to other days. This is all Maya. Ah. So, what is required to be done as prescribed by Maharshi is that whenever you are in the sattva, hmm, hold on to sattva. Ah. Do whatever you can to maximize the effects of sattva. Hmm. When you are in sattva, you can meditate. Hmm. Meditate. use this cycle of sattva. Because what will happen is, each time sattva arrives, it will keep on getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Hmm? So it is coming after 6 days or 7 days. But what will happen is, it will keep on getting deeper. Each time it comes again, it will give you more energy, sattvic energy, hmm, which can be utilized for meditative purposes. Um, but sadhaka is unaware of this cycle, and sadhaka is too distressed, hmm, to even listen to this concept. Uh, Now, if I share this concept with someone who is under the spell of sadness, depression, huh, they wouldn't want to hear this, hmm, because their heart is aching. Hmm. So, what is going to be the first course of action is to take their burdens away, to let them know that their burdens are not theirs to carry, they all belong to the Guru. Hmm. Now, do you understand Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva? Hmm. Question. In the jnani, the ego subsists in the pure form, and therefore it appears as something real. Am I right? Answer. Existence of the ego in any form, either in the jnani or ajnani, is itself an experience. It's not real. But to the jnani who is deluded into thinking that the waking state and the world are real, the ego also appears to be real. To the ajnani, ajnani, hmm, who is deluded into thinking that the waking state and the world are real, the ego also appears to be real. Hmm. Since he sees the jnani act like other individuals, hmm, so you will see a self-realized being acting and performing actions just like everyone else. A jnani feels he constrains, he feels constrained to the posit. What's happening? He feels constrained to posit some notion of individuality with reference to the jnani also. So, a jnani, an ignorant man, looks at a self realized being and thinks that he too is taking actions because of the doership. Hmm. While you are taking an action, what's going on in your mind? ये ठीक से नहीं हुआ, ये अच्छे से करना, अरे यार ये मैंने क्या कर दिया. हाँ. You are having this internal dialogue because you think you are the doer. Hmm. So while you are performing an action, you are taking the responsibility of the action. Hmm. But the person who is self realized, he is simply doing the action. There is no responsibility towards the action because the action is being done through them. They are not the one doing it. It appears to us that they are doing the action. Okay, let me explain it this way. While working out, hmm, I was working out 2 days back, and because my mind remains silent, hmm, what was happening is, in the mind, there were flashes, images were being flashed, mm, of exercises that I must do. Mm. So, those images are commands. Mm. Mind governs the body. Mm. So, while I was working out, I wasn't having internal thoughts कि अब ये करना है, अब weighted lunges करने हैं, weighted squats करने हैं. I was simply doing it because image was being projected on the mind. I was silent, completely silent, and there was this image of a particular exercise. Mhm. I saw it and I started doing it because it is a command. Mind is there only to govern the body. Mhm. When there is internal thought within us, when there is the idea of doership, huh, we assume that we are the ones doing it because that's what the mind telling us. Now let us do this. Now let us lie down. But my mind was silent. Mm. So what was happening is, image flashed and the body moved. Image flashed, body moved. I didn't even count how many repetitions I'm doing. Mm. But I remember taking rest in between. Mm. Where is this image coming from? It is because all actions are predestined. Mm. So, whatever is destined to happen gets projected on the mind screen. Mm. Then what? You act accordingly, automatically, not on your own volition. You are acting automatically, but the mind tells you that you are the one doing the action. Mm. Okay, let me give you another example. I am speaking right now. Words get flashed on the screen. Mm. Most of the times when I'm speaking, I'm not thinking. Mm. So why I'm having problem sometimes during speech is because I saw the word, I spoke the word, but the word did not land well because I started seeing another word. Mm. And I am getting a hang of it, trying to understand the process. It will take some time. Mm. So the word will come out right, but before landing, something will happen to the word and the pronunciation will be shifted a little bit. Hmm? Because I could not complete delivering the word completely, and before that, another word was fleshed. Hmm. Are you getting it? I hope you are getting it. It's not very difficult. Hmm? Try to understand because this is going to help you. Hmm? Mind receives instructions from the higher power all the time. Hmm. But because mind is active, it hasn't become passive like a burnt rope. A burnt rope would still be called as a rope. Structure is intact. Structure will be withered when you enter samadhi. But the mind is intact in the form of a burnt rope. So now in the burnt rope, in the mind which is passive, it can be seen that you are not the one who's doing the actions. That is the activeness of the mind, which is the illusion. Activeness of the mind is an illusion. That activeness of the mind makes you think that you are the one taking all these actions. But once the activeness of the mind has been separated and only the passivity is left, what happens is you can see that images, words, and commands are just being flashed. And then the body is acting accordingly. Because when you think, oh, let me drink some water, I'm getting thirsty. When you think, you get up and you fill the glass and then you drink it. But when you not think this way, that, oh, let me get some water, I'm thirsty. When you not think this way, you will still go fill the glass. If in that moment you are destined to do it. I'm speaking it because of experience. If I had not experienced it, I wouldn't have the conviction. My knowledge would be shaky. So, via self-inquiry, what we are trying to do is, we are trying to kill the mind and allowing the mind to rest in its passivity. In the next question, Bhagavan is also talking about this. About remaining in the subtle Vijnanamaya kosha. Okay. Did you understand the previous answer? Since an ignorant man sees the jnani act like other individuals, he feels constrained to posit some notion of individuality with reference to the jnani also. As you do actions thinking that you are the doer, you think that a jnani is also acting out of doership. This is why when the guru shouts at you, disciplines you, beats the heck out of you, you will think the guru is evil, malicious. How can he be so cruel? He's supposed to be soft and gentle. He's the guru. So definitely there is something wrong with him. That's what you think. But The truth is, higher power knows what's going on in your mind. Hmm? And higher power is governing the body of the Guru. So, higher power can see that your stubbornness and arrogance has crossed the line. Hmm. So, now the higher power will take whatever measures are required to be taken, hmm, to bring you back to the ground. Because you were trying to cross the line. Hmm. That's why a jnani is free from all karmas, because he is not responsible for the actions that are being performed by him. He is not performing any action. It's just an image being flashed like an order, hmm, which the body follows automatically. Ah. Question: how then does the aham vritti, the I thought, the sense of individuality, function in the jnani? Then how does aham vritti function in the jnani? The question. Answer is, it does not function in him at all. The jnani does not have even a little, even the tiny bit of doership. The jnani's real nature is the heart itself, because he is one and identical with the undifferentiated pure consciousness referred to by the Upanishads as the Prajnana. Prajnana is truly Brahman, the absolute, and there is no Brahman other than Prajnana. Hope you are getting it. Anytime a new word is being introduced, do not worry that, oh, I'm not understanding it. It will come to you eventually. Prajnana is a new word, huh? Question: does a jnani have sankalpas, desires? Answer: the main qualities of the ordinary mind are tamas and rajas, sloth and excitement. Hence, it is full of egoistic desires and weaknesses. But the jnani's mind is Shuddha Sattva, pure harmony, and formless, functioning in the subtle Vijnanamaya Kosha, the sheath of knowledge, through which he keeps contact with the world. His desires are therefore also pure. So the mind, do you remember I used the term Nirastikaran of Panchakoshas? What actually happens is, you come out of the Manomaya Kosha, out of the Vijnanamaya Kosha, you start to experience bliss. After Vijnanamaya Kosha, there is the sheath of bliss, Anandamaya Kosha. Then you enter Brahman. Then you become self-realized. Once you have become self-realized, what happens is, mind still is required. Because you have to function in the world. So the mind resides within the Vijnanamaya Kosha, the subtle Vijnanamaya Kosha. So any action being done by a self-realized being, any word coming out of the mouth of a self-realized being is pure knowledge, whether you considers it as knowledge or not. It is knowledge in the eyes of the Brahman. It is knowledge as designated by the universe. Ah. So universe has immense faith within the wisdom of the Jnani. Hmm. Why so? Because their mind is now purified. So whatever desires they are having, these desires are not even theirs. It's only a command. Hmm. Are you getting it? Where is this command coming from? From the universe. And if you have become so pure that you have transcended or you have destroyed the activeness of the mind, what happens is you can now see that the mind is being run by the higher power, not by you. Hmm. Hmm. This much is enough. Hmm. Actually, there is another answer by Bhagwan. Ah. Okay, so this is from page number 46. Question: what is the nature of the mind? Answer: the mind is nothing other than the I thought. Ah. The mind and the ego are one and the same. Hmm. The other mental faculties, such as the intellect and the memory, are only this: mind, manas, intellect, buddhi, the storehouse of mental tendencies, chittam, and ego, ahamkara. All these are only the one mind itself. Ah, you see how easily Bhagwan has simplified everything for us. Bhagwan is saying, your mind, ego, chittam, ahamkara, all these things are one and only. So your enemies are not many. Enemy is just one. The activity of the mind, activeness. Ah. This is like different names being given to a man according to his different functions. The individual soul is nothing but this soul or ego. Hmm. See, now Bhagwan is saying ego and soul are the same thing. That means ego and Atman are the same thing, which means ego and Brahman are the same things. So, what are we discussing? Then, what is Brahma Gyan? Mind is a power. You can feel the pressure of the mind, right? When you are under stressful situations, you can feel how much pressure mind is asserting. So that is energy. Mind is energy. What is Atman? Energy. What is Brahman? Energy. At the end of the day, it's all energy, it's all consciousness. Hmm. Are you getting it? So the idea is that if in this moment you can understand that you are not the doer, hmm, the world is unreal and it is all consciousness, it is all the self. If your mind can hold on to the subtle, very subtle consciousness, you will become self realized in this moment itself. Hmm. You know, after a while, you start to see the subtleties of the universe. You can see the energy via your own eyes, within yourself, not outside of you. Or maybe I haven't seen it outside of myself, so that's why I'm saying so. But at least you can see it within your own self. Uh, so while performing self inquiry, the mind is here, and thus you are performing self inquiry. Now what? Now, because the mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. Hmm? If you target a single thought, all other thoughts will not arise. Hmm. So, when you are targeting a single thought and sending it back to the source, it means that you are sending the mind back to the source because you have reduced the mind, this big chunk of the mind, you are reducing it to a single thought. It is easier to target a single thought. Ah. So while you are sending it back to the source, what's happening is after a while you can see the remnants, the tail of that thought. Like a shooting star, like this it is traveling and trying to find the source. Excuse me. Hmm. Are you getting it? That's how subtle your vision becomes. It's all coming from the Guru. It's the grace of the Guru. Hmm? So, why I did not have to do self inquiry more than once or twice, once in the childhood and once in 2021. Why? I could see the thought, who am I? I could see its tail, starting from who, it is the mouth. Who am I? This is the tail. And I could see it traveling, trying to find the source, like a shooting star. I could only see the tail, I couldn't see the mouth. But I could see the tail like this. And when it went inside of the source, I experienced Purna. Hmm. So, when you experience Purna, of course you will be excited. But if you can try to hold on to the source, if somehow Guru graces you with Viveka in that moment, and you are able to escape that excitement, what will happen is you will arrive at the source. Um, but don't worry if you are not able to escape the excitement. It's fine. That excitement is your birthright. Huh? You are there to experience it. Hmm. So even if you want to be excited, be excited. It's fine. Do whatever gives you happiness. Ah. So you must understand one thing, that mind and ego are the same. Hmm. Ego is the ahamkara and mind is also ahamkara. It is the sense of doership only. Because once doership is extinguished from your experience, uh, the experience doesn't remain your experience. You are not there to experience it anymore. Hmm. Brahman is experiencing it via you. Hmm. Even now, you know why you are so important in this existence. Brahman is experiencing the world through you, hmm, through your own unique experience. Huh? You must have heard this from a lot of spiritualists, hmm, and it's true. They are not lying or they are not making a bunch of crap. No, everyone is unique and everyone is having a unique experience. Ah, and thus, Brahman made you like this, gave you these challenges and these limited beliefs, whatever your limited beliefs are, because everyone has different limited beliefs. So, Brahman is experiencing this life, this world through you, because Brahman cannot experience it on his own. Ah. A self realized being is not aware of his characteristics or his beauty or his abilities. Hmm. It is when you tell a self realized being, huh, that Bhagwan, you are so beautiful, you are so compassionate, then the self realized being realizes that the behavior he has been showing is of compassion. Huh. Because they are not there. You see, they cannot analyze and evaluate. Ah, so, whatever you are giving to them, it is forming as an image, as a projection. Ah, and then they are experiencing it, just as Brahman is experiencing life through you. Hmm. So, once what happened was, Maharshi, you know this, where are you, Bhagwan? This photograph of Bhagwan. Huh? This particular photograph was being taken. Hmm. So there was a photographer in the ashram, and Bhagwan was sitting like this in this posture. So when he came in, Bhagwan asked, "Am I sitting properly? Is there enough light on my face? Will you be able to capture my face in the photograph?" Or he meant, should I change the posture or should I change the angle? And the photographer, his eyes became moist. He said, Bhagwan, what are you saying? You are the light. You are the light. Hmm. And when he said this, Bhagwan smiled. Ah, because he is not aware of himself, you see. And in that moment, he became aware of his own light. Mm. And till that time, that man must have been there in front of him. Bhagwan would have enjoyed that projection. Ah, it is good. You know how satisfied I feel when I think that he was surrounded with so many people who could see his light, who could see his compassion and grace, and who could tell him moment after moment, every second, how loving and kind, knowledgeable and wise he really is. Because such because a divine being like him shouldn't be, shouldn't have to feel that neutrality even for a single moment. Even that neutrality is bliss, I'm telling you that. Hmm? But no, no, we will not let you be neutral. You will know all the time how great you are. Huh? So even while I'm sitting in my room and I keep on talking to Bhagwan. Bhagwan, have you ever tried cupcakes? I know he hasn't. So I'm always like talking to him, teasing him, and smiling with him, eating with Bhagwan. So whatever I eat, I first offer to him, even if I'm I'm the one who is consuming the morsel. I just said, Bhagwan, taste it. Let me let me know how you liked it. Mm. Most of the times, not always. Sometimes I just see my favorite dish and I'm like, I'm done. So Guru is within all of us. Bhagwan is within all of us. The self is within us. And the self shouldn't be neglected. That is you. Your Guru is you. Hmm. Okay? So abide in the self. Remain seated in the heart, not in the mind. Ah. So you have completed the first step. You have taken the first step, which is understanding that you are not the mind. Hmm. Now, what is required is what is the next step for you? You have to find out the source via self inquiry. Huh? All right. Then the third step is going to be abiding in the heart, abiding in the source, being fixed in the self, in the source. Uh, In 3 steps, you will become self realized, just like Maharshi. Hmm. All right, I'm going now. I don't know when I'd be able to upload this video because they were doing some work outside of the house on the other side of the road, but somehow they have damaged the Wi-Fi connection. So I'm not able to upload this video on time. But it's fine. We are all in the relaxing mode now. The course is ending. Hmm. Alright. So I'll see you on Friday. Huh? Yeah. And that would be the last video of this month. Uh, then in the month of June, on 3rd and 7th, we will have two discussions on abundance. And the last video on 8th June, we will conclude the entire 3 months. Mm. And that is going to be our little chit chat session. Mm. Okay, so take care. I'm going. Bye.